UT Martin head coach Jason Simpson, the Skyhawks, the defending OVC champion, picked first in the preseason poll this week, ranked 15th nationally. They're going to host Western Illinois in a Thursday night showcase to kick off the season. So, Coach, just some questions or some thoughts on your team, and we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, good. No, I'm looking forward to seeing this play. Like everybody else, you're going against each other in camp a lot, so you're looking forward to seeing your team compete. We're certainly not where we finished off the season last year. We got a long way to go when it comes to that. We got some new guys, we got some guys injured, so I think we'll definitely get better as the season progresses. But you got a quality opponent Thursday night here at home.
If you got questions, just let me know down in the chat and I'll call on you. Coach, so what about opening at home? So some years you've had to go on the road and play a big FBS opponent to start, but you get to open up in front of your home fans. How's that feel?
Yeah, I guess the schedule, I guess somebody felt a little sorry for us to let us open up at home considering what we've got going ahead. But no, that's okay. No, we're excited to be at home. It's a Thursday night, so hopefully the community will be here to rally around our team, and the student body will be here. So no, we're very excited. It has been a while, it seems like, since we've been at home on the opening game.
All right, we're going to go to Dan from Prairie State Pigskin. He's got a couple questions for you, Coach.
Hi, Coach. Good to see you.
Hey, Dan.
In addition to cover Eastern Illinois, we also cover Western Illinois. So how difficult is it? They've got a new coaching staff, a lot of turnover in terms of their personnel. How difficult is it to prepare in that situation when there are so many unknowns?
Yeah, very, very, very difficult. No, it's a problem. It's a problem, and there'll be some things that we'll have to adjust to during the game. Our coaching staff certainly knows it's a problem. I don't know that our kids do, and what I mean by that is because they're getting ready to play the looks that we give them. Okay, versus the different scout looks and stuff. So, but no, I certainly know that it is. And although we try to make them aware that, okay, here's 3 down, here's 4 down, here's 12 personnel, here's 11 personnel, whatever. There's a lot of unknowns because of the coaching change. So, and I certainly think that's an advantage to Western Illinois. But we'll have to make adjustments going forward.
Is that more of a case then you just prepare your team as you normally would, and then, as you said, as the game goes on, then you make those adjustments?
Yeah, that's all you can do. From the standpoint, you hope that the rules that you put in your schemes allow, whether it be your quarterback and center to make the right calls, whether it be your linebackers or safeties to, okay, we haven't seen this, okay, like you normally would if it was a pre-existing, coaching staff or an established staff, from years before. But you hope that your rules get your kids in a position to make a play.
I've got one more for you. I don't know how closely you've been able to look at the rules changes for this season, but I was just curious if any one rule or a couple rules really jump out at you as being significant.
We've spent a lot of time on the cut blocking rule. I think that's probably the biggest adjustment that I've seen of the new ones that we've spent the most time on, as far as trying to comply with them to make sure that we don't get an unnecessary penalty just because we blocked it like this last year. So that's the one we spent the most time on, trying to educate our players.
Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
So you said there's some differences between last year's team and this year's team, Coach. How does this year, going into this year though, compared to going into last year, what you thought of your team? Whatever you thought last year, you all ended up winning the OVC. You feel this team is obviously capable of doing something like that at the end of the year?
You'd like to be optimistic about that. Certainly. I think sometimes as coaches, the memories that you have are from, especially coming off a successful year, or what your team was at the end of the year. Okay. And a lot of trials and tribulations happen before you get to that point. Sometimes we don't remember what it was like that first game against Western Kentucky. You remember that game, we got blown out. We didn't play very well. And then going into the next game against Samford, we were down 17 points in the first quarter after turning the ball over 4 times. So, at some point you hope if you have a good football team, you find yourself. Very rarely have I experienced that that's from the opening kickoff of the first game. There's things, and I've spent a lot of time talking to our team about being able to handle adversity, throughout the game. You're not going to score every time you touch the ball. You're not going to get a tackle for loss, every time we walk out on the field on defense. Every team we play has got, some good players. So, being able to play the game how it's supposed to be played, being able to understand, that our philosophy is, if it takes 3-0, that's what you do. If it takes you scoring 60, that's what you got to do. So, that's something that concerns me with this team, is the success that they had last year. Just assuming that that's going to carry over, that it doesn't work like that.
So I'm looking at your depth charts. Just tell us a little about your quarterback position. Obviously, Dresser has been there, it seems like forever now, a lot of experience. And you got Cornelius, who is new to your program this year.
Yeah, we're excited about having both quarterbacks. I think both, Dresser, well documented. We've talked about his familiarity with things, and he's made some good plays. There's certainly still room for improvement. But and Quad's made a lot of plays in practice, and so there's a chance that both will play, and they both deserve that. They both practiced hard and made some plays, and I think they'll both play better as they continue to get some game experience under their belt.
And you said this last year, anytime we talked about some offensive performances, you would always highlight your offensive line. Looking at them, 3 returners from last year. Obviously, Hatchie is one that's getting some of the All-American honors, but talk about putting some new pieces in with those quality starters you have back on the O-line.
Yeah, once again, even though we were returning some guys, we're still, still work in progress, but a lot of concern on some injured depth that we have right now. I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have an opportunity to be, I won't say better than last year. Okay. But we basically did that last year with, 6 guys playing, and we didn't lose anybody. I think we had the same starting 5, for about 8 weeks of the season. So hadn't had that during camp. A lot of new faces in that, 6th, 7th, 8th spot that I'm concerned about. But hey, that's why we're going to play. Those guys need some game reps, and excited about their growth.
One more and we'll let you go. And I should ask this earlier. You start on a Thursday. It's kind of unique. You're going to play the second week of the season on a Thursday too, which maybe is something that's back-to-back Thursday games. Does that make any difference? So you'll have that time to prepare instead of like starting on a Thursday and playing Missouri State on it.
It is a little different. It is a little different. I've tried to put plenty of thought into that. It's a quick turnover, turnaround. The kids will be back in here on Friday to look at the Thursday night tape, and then you give them the Saturday off, and then then boom, here we go. We got to leave out of here on Wednesday to get to Missouri State. So, and Missouri State plays on Thursday, so it's not like we got an advantage because they play Saturday and Thursday. So everything equal comes to that, except we have to travel. So not ideal, certainly not, but you hope that you reap some benefits of it. The next week as you get the 10-day to get prepared for Boise State.
Perfect. Well, Coach, thanks for your time this morning. Best of luck this week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Hey, thank you, guys.